What is up? What is up? What is up? This is Robert Graves, and that was the intro to the Christmas edition of You're the Vet. I'm so glad that you're here back with me or joining for the first time. My name is Robert Graves. Like I said before, this is You're the Vet, and You're the Vet is a platform that I bring veterans to speak to you, other veterans or soon-to-be veterans or allies or friends or family of veterans, or just people who are interested in finding out ways to help themselves transition through their lives. You're the Vet is a platform that just is supposed to explode with knowledge or stories to help those in transition from one point to the other in their life just get back on the road if they've fallen off. But I'm excited to bring to you today Mr. Kevin Boughan, a.k.a. Mr. Kris Kringle himself, Santa Claus. The story to lead me to Santa is phenomenal because I was thinking, man, I wish I had a Santa Claus veteran, a veteran who went out and was Santa at the mall. And that was on a Sunday, and I had physical therapy the next day. And sure enough, there's this guy laying in the bed next to me, ho-ing. It was phenomenal just how everything just attracted itself to bring you this podcast today. So, Mr. Boughan, Santa is old school, non-technical, so he's just watching the football game while we're having a conversation. So I hope that you get something from this. We talk about the process that got him to where he is today, and you know what? Let's just hear Santa talk. So
what do you want to ask me?
Yeah, so I want to get right into this. So what I'm going to end up asking you are just kind of basic questions about your background, and then into your military history, and then your transition out. But then, since this will be the Christmas episode, kind of spread some Christmas cheer about how you got into that. I'm super curious because I actually just watched a documentary last year about this whole Santa Claus culture. So there's I'm telling you, it was fascinating to say the least. So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Like, where do you come from? Where's home?
My home is here in Thousand Oaks, California. I moved here in 1968 from Massachusetts when I was 10 years old.
Bastin.
And I lived here in Thousand Oaks. I still do. This very day. Grew up here, went to school here, elementary school, some elementary school, junior high school, high school. I've worked out here in the supermarkets. But that's about it for that.
So would you claim yourself as a Cali boy, or do you still appreciate the East Coast?
I would have to say I'm a Californian, right? Because, I was 10 years old when I moved out here. And I was a child. When I was living back in Massachusetts, I was a sick child. I was asthmatic. Okay, I had asthma, and that's how we came to California. Okay, my dad worked for Raytheon Corporation, and he got a transfer out here to help me with my asthma. So I outgrew the asthma though. The Lord saw fit to let me outgrow that.
Yeah.
Which is great, but no, I've been back here to visit a few times, everything, but no, I'd have to say I'm a Californian. I haven't lived back there in so long. It's not even funny.
I don't think you're missing anything. No offense to all my Boston friends, but every time Boston goes to the playoffs, I'm like, just please lose, so I don't have to.
Well, I like the Patriots. I do, and the Boston Red Sox will always be good in my heart too. I
mean, they're fantastic teams. They're fun to watch.
All pro teams. Yeah, all pro teams are good. And all their fans who live back here are loyal to them. As long as they live there.
Yeah.
But as far as football, I like the Dallas Cowboys because they've been practiced here for many years, but then they left, so I got mad about that. I really couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you 10 people on the team, but but I still enjoy them watching them. They're on next Sunday night.
Yeah.
Look at playing the New York Giants.
Did you play sports when you grew up?
In high school? Yeah. I played 2 years of football. I ran a year of cross country. I played 4 years of baseball.
Okay.
That was my big sport.
Baseball was your go-to?
Oh, yeah. I was a catcher.
Okay. were you looking at maybe possible college, or did you know that wasn't the route?
I wasn't sure. I was lost when I got out of high school. I went down to the Angels Rookie League camp for a weekend for the baseball. I didn't know whether I really didn't think I'd have much of a chance. They asked me to come down, so I went down. To display my talents and stuff. But I was 5'8", 159 pounds. And but still, I was a good ball player.
Yeah.
Down there, but I didn't know what I was going to do. So that is when, the idea of what am I going to do? And so the Army idea came up in my head. And so I went down and investigated while I was working at a place called CB4 as a lot boy. And what I did, I went down one afternoon and I investigated, checked out the idea of joining up the Army.
Why not?
Sure.
Why not any other services?
The Navy never really thrilled me because of this water. It just never really. And my brother was in the Air Force, so I figured let him alone with that. And then the Marine Corps, I looked in the door, and they gave me a nasty look, so I took. So I made an about face, and I went and saw Sergeant. Oh God, I can't remember their names though. Sergeant Stone and Sergeant Fabella.
Okay.
Those are my recruiters' names. Yeah.
And
I talked to them.
Were you a good student?
Yes. Yeah. Well, no, average. Okay. I got by. I was a lazy student, I think.
Uh-huh.
I could have done better. I didn't do bad. Don't get me wrong. I never was bad, but I didn't pursue any going, trying to be a straight A student or nothing. I did enough just to get by, and in some classes I did better.
Was that the same kind of attitude as your brother?
What, one in the Air Force?
No, were you guys similar when you grew up?
No, actually, I was the athlete. He was very smart. He was just we didn't really have the same interests.
Okay.
Well, he had growing pains, more or less. He was dropped out of school and everything else. He was wicked smart, really, really smart guy, but he just had growing pains where he just dropped out of school. And but then, after everything went down, him and my dad decided he should do something. And he got in a delayed enlistment program for the Air Force, and he ended up teaching a thing called cryptography.
Okay.
Which you can't be a real idiot to teach that, believe me.
Yeah.
And he was going to school ever since. That's a long.
Yeah.
He got a lot of degrees. Oh, he's a very intelligent guy.
And you said your father worked for Raytheon, right?
Oh, he did. Yeah, he retired.
Did he serve before?
Yes, he was in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
In the Korean conflict, the Korean War.
So you come from just a lineage
a lot
of heroes.
Oh, like my grandfather, his dad, he was in he was in World War One.
Nice.
He was in the Army.
It's like Forrest Gump when Lieutenant Dan's like, every major war I've had a family member in, and that's your family,
right?
Huh? Yeah.
Right. My uncle Francis was in Vietnam. He was in intelligence. But he never went over to Vietnam. They kept him in the United States, and they had him do weird stuff. He had to go investigate the Ku Klux Klan and stuff. It was weird how some of the stuff the military actually did.
That's crazy. Yeah. So he enlisted. He went to school. Was he intelligence? Is that how that happened?
Who's that?
Your uncle.
Uncle? I don't know. The thing is, he never really told much about what he was doing in the service.
Yeah.
My dad found out by accident. Yeah, he found out by accident through a guy because my dad working at Raytheon. He had to they built Sparrow missiles over there, so that's kind of a hush hush thing, right?
Yeah.
So my dad had to work with the feds a lot, and talk to those guys a lot, and one of the feds said, "Oh yeah, I know your brother," and he told him how he knew him.
That's crazy.
The stuff they were doing during the war down the southeast, the Klan and stuff.
It's super small.
That's how we. Yeah. And, nobody ever really confronted Francis about that.
Yeah. I bet
I
bet it's just stories upon stories. So.
Yeah, it's on a need-to-know basis too. You know.
Of course. We
One of those things.
We get it. As military men, we get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's like my brother when he taught crypto, that's decoding. You're not going to tell a thing about that.
Yeah.
And my brother, that's how he got the thing he does now. He's a satellite contractor.
Yeah.
Okay, and he takes care of satellites that he launches for these companies for the military. He can't tell you anything.
No, yeah, I built and installed radars for the last 16 years. I did that 10 years in the Marine Corps, so I know all about it. You have to go through a process.
Well, where were you stationed for that?
Oh man, I was trained in 29 Palms for a little over a year, and then my first duty station was in Max 4, Okinawa, and then we were the first Marine unit to deploy to Kandahar to set up base. So I stayed out there for 8 months. Then I went back to Okinawa, then went back to Pendleton. They have a test unit. Went there, then went and re-enlisted, went back to 29 Palms, then went back to Okinawa, and then I got out from there. So.
Well, then you know. There's only so much you can say about what they do. You know?
Offset.
Yeah, because as my brother, he lived in Germany for so many years. He got married there and everything else. Well, he's a widower now, but. It's a shame. She was a great lady, but that's what he does.
Yeah.
And I have but then he goes all over the world to start checking on other satellite stuff that his company has made and has sold to the military.
So
he goes over. What now?
Go ahead. You can finish. I'm sorry.
No, he goes all over the world, checking on stuff. But now he's the head guy now. But I don't know what's going to happen now because. I think he's coming back to the United States now.
Yeah,
because he says the tax stuff is no use staying over there. It's because the tax laws are changing over there now. Where you have to pay the European taxes and stuff. Before you didn't.
Yeah.
He was working over there tax free.
Must have been nice.
Yeah, because I'm sure he made a good amount of money.
So when you went to the recruiter, what did you sign up to do as your MOS, as your job?
Military police.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
You knew it from the get? That's what you wanted to do? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I had this guy who was in, actually, one of my recruiters, Sergeant Stone, I saw him, he was in a lot of Army commercials and on the magazines and stuff. There he was. It was weird how I saw him after all the years went by.
How long did you stay in?
I wasn't in long at all. I told you. I was just in for basic training in military police school.
And then
that covered it.
But so you didn't serve after school?
No, I couldn't.
You got hurt?
I got hurt bad.
Okay.
I got hurt bad. They wouldn't let me.
Do you mind me asking what happened?
Yeah, there's no problem. No, it was a motorcycle accident.
Okay. Oh,
which
that happened then.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's how come the service said, well, look, it just ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? I mean, the whole right side of my brain is bruised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit the tree. They say. I don't know. I have no recollection of it. I never have.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me a thing about it. I don't know. It's just the way it goes. One of those things. But the military, they took care of me. Believe me, they sent me I recovered and they shipped me while I was in a coma to the Eisenhower Medical Facility.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I came back to reality as far as I came out of my coma. I still came out with the age capacity of a 4-year-old, being semi-comatose. But that's where they did the therapy and things, taught me everything, how to walk and all that stuff again, and I was in a body cast and everything else.
How long were you kind of in that state for?
2 months.
2 months.
What? Yeah, with the four, thinking I was a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
2 months.
And then it clicked.
2 months. Yeah, actually, the only thing I can remember is coming back on the plane ride before we got to Los Angeles to be close to home. The VA hospital there.
Mm-hmm. That's
where they decided to put me, to be close to home. And I woke up, and that's what I can remember from. That was it. That's where reality, my memories just started kicking into gear. Like, what the heck's going on here? I have no idea.
So when you came back to reality 2 months later after that accident, did you were you kind of confused? Did you still think that you were in the military or should have been in the military?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was still in the military.
So
I wasn't.
Yeah, go ahead.
They put me on the temporary disability retirement list.
Okay.
TDRL. Yeah, they put me on that. I was still in. They just, then they had to review my case and everything and have me go to doctors and stuff. And so I was TDRL for a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah, they decided what's going to happen with me. And what they did, the hospital and stuff, I was in the mental ill ward, okay? But because they didn't realize, I had to prove myself that I had totally snapped back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just there for a couple of weeks, but in order for me to get out of there, I had to make a deal with them, and I had to go to group therapy and stuff with these guys.
Yeah.
Which really didn't go well. I had nothing to say.
Right.
And these guys, I had nothing to say to these guys. They were all, they're all, these guys that I was in the therapy with, they're all, ex, soldiers or whatever, okay? But none of them would ever admit to being in the service.
Mm-hmm.
They would never admit to being in the service. It was really bizarre. And they talk about any personal problems I have and stuff, and I just sat there and shook my head going, okay. I did, I went for a few months. Well, about 8 or 9 months I went, yeah.
So you were kind of being held in this like exit stage, and after
just to make sure.
Yeah, and that was about, you said 2 years. 2 years after the accident. So you kind of you were just there. You didn't have to report to anybody, but those individuals at the hospital, right? And
Right. The hospital, so right. Then they had a representative from the VA come talk to me about benefits and stuff. But, I guess they talked to my father.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was not able to talk to them. Because I was not mentally sound, they say, for me to talk to them. I couldn't. I never talked. I never talked to one of them.
Was that their opinion, or do you feel that same way as well?
That was their opinion.
Yeah.
I really knew nothing what they were talking about, so I. God, I can't believe this guy. This guy from Kansas City. They say he's the fastest man in the NFL, and he just ran the thing. God, 80 yards back in a punt. I'm watching this and talking to you at the same time because and Kansas City's kicking their ass right now. It's 20-3. But there was stuff. It was weird how I would go back in the service. What would happen? It was very confusing to see what was going to happen. Whether I'd have to go through all the training all over again, get back in shape,
Did you want
Which
to?
I was doing. I wanted to. Yeah, I applied. I wanted to go back in.
Yeah. And at that point, you said you were 20 or 21?
At that point, it was about 20, 21, 20.
That's
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go back, but they said nah. No, the doctors and everything. The doctors gave me. They said no way.
Yeah.
The doctors did, and then it all come down. I don't know how it came down to this, but Barry Goldwater Jr. is the guy that made the decision. I don't know. I have no idea what he had to do with it. I have no idea. He was incumbent at the time, because he just said, he goes, no, you're retired. Bingo, that was it. One day it took, you know what I mean? When he finally got involved in it.
So here you are, you go in trying to find yourself
better.
Your
trying to better myself.
Yeah, in your family lineage, you're doing your part for your country, and you get in this bike accident, bad bike accident.
I have no idea what happened.
Lucky to be alive. Mind state of a 4-year-old for a few months, then you just snap out of it, and then you're sitting around wanting to get right back into the meat and potatoes with your soldier buddies, and you're not able to. You get kicked out, and so what happens next?
Well, we tried the college thing. I went for a whole semester. It wasn't going to work. But then I had to go to work.
Uh-huh.
I went back to work. Started working at the supermarket.
Which
I became an alcoholic, by the way. All this stuff's been going on.
During
I haven't drank
or after?
After.
Okay.
But I haven't drank in 18 years.
18. Oh, congrats.
It's been 18 years now.
Well, what was the turning point from? What was that change? What was that change like? That I got to get me back. Stop drinking.
It just everything. The way that life turned out because of it. You actually got to stop by. You got to look at it. And you go, oh my God, man, life would be a lot different if I didn't drink.
Okay.
If I did, it would have been a lot different.
Yeah.
I would have been a lot further in my life.
So do you find yourself living in regret?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do regret. Yeah. Have to. I've seen many. I did the program and everything, the meetings and everything, but that's not what stopped me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen many people that I see people on the street corners and stuff, and they go into meetings and stuff, but they're there on the street corners panhandling, and I know what they do with any money they get. I have guys. There was guys that sit outside my supermarket out there that I talked to that were in the military. Mm-hmm. They're homeless, okay? Mm-hmm. And any money they get, the first thing they do, they go get alcohol. Mm-hmm. And that's a shame.
Yeah.
But nothing I can do about that. It's up to them. You know what I mean? But there's really a lot of times they have nowhere to go, and it's a tough transition. They have no way out of it. Where are they going to go?
So let me ask this. So at some point you decided to go back to school, and then you start drinking again. I mean, you're 21 at this point, and so getting heavy into alcohol isn't exactly a cultural shock to us as Americans, right? That's something that we kind of grow into. It's a rite of passage. So we get into this mindset of, okay, well, we're young, let's party, let's do what we do. And then at some point throughout your life, what was the process from being medically retired? Because now you have a guaranteed paycheck, right?
That's the problem.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting, because now you've got constant money in, and you're not exactly in the right, I guess,
state of mind.
Would it be that you're you don't have to hustle as much, like you
get lazy.
Okay, and that. At what point did you realize that you missed the boat? Like, you missed life. At what point did you say, shit, man, like, where did life go?
Well, it happened a couple of times with that.
Uh-huh.
A couple of times with that. I just, I don't know, things I tried to stop. It just, what killed me, what finally made me stop was getting that DUI and going to jail for 48 hours. And really sitting down for 48 hours thinking, what the hell is this going to do to me?
Yeah.
What has it done to me? That was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. How many
relationships do you think and I'm not just romantic, but personal, family. How many relationships do you think that alcohol took away from you?
4 girls.
Did you learn something from those that you if somebody asked you to be their sponsor today, what did you learn from those that you could give back to whoever's kind of looking for that for any kind of knowledge?
Well, to talk to that sponsor, instead of you said the drinking thing,
the living thing.
The living thing. Well, you need to make the proper choices. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever have questions about those choices you're going to make, you should have a people you can go and talk to about it. Groups or things you can go and talk to, like the alcohol thing. It's always good. If you have a problem, any doubt with alcohol at all, go to meetings and things. Try to find somebody that you can talk to about the alcohol thing. That's one thing I didn't do.
Yeah.
I went with my friend Todd. For a long time. It was good where we were going. You don't drink and stuff, and but then we both quit the meetings and things and started drinking again, and for another year, and then I quit, but then Todd kept drinking, and Todd, they ended up finding him drunk in a hotel. He was dead from alcohol. So you need people to talk to.
Yeah.
You can't keep it a quiet thing.
So
you can't be private about it. You gotta be vocal.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that that I find myself telling a lot of people that are getting out now is kind of fine. And this doesn't necessarily relate specific to alcohol or anything, but going to college or trying to find a house or a job, or after getting a job and being lost in this civilian world, go speak to somebody, kind of find a mentor. That's kind of my kick, is to go find a mentor, somebody that you I don't have all the answers, and nobody does. Of course.
But you never know. You could have some suggestions, right?
Exactly, right? Or just you might just say something to ignite the fire that you didn't,
Yeah, because it's going to be a totally different way of life coming out of the military for them, right?
Yeah.
Totally. There they are, the military. They got to go find a job. How the hell are they going to do that?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? You know what I mean?
So
they're going to go to school.
I want to find out. I want to tap into this specifically because when I met you, I told you that the day before, literally the day before, I was like, I want to find a veteran who is Santa Claus. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And it sounds like you have this whole story getting up to that point. At what point, or even during that whole process, at what point were you like, that's something I may want to do?
Oh well, that's a weird thing, because there's different times in my life when I've done that. As far as like I did it as a kid. Okay, I was 17 when it was the first time.
That you were Santa?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. At the Larwin Square in Simi Valley.
Uh-huh.
I got a job with Western Temporary Services, and they let me be a Santa Claus. They sent me to a place, the Santa School in Santa Monica.
Santa School?
Santa School, yeah.
What do you learn at Santa School?
Oh, just basically how to put the uniform on, and just makeup and stuff, and sitting positions for like taking pictures and things, and what to say. You can't lie to children. You just can't lie to them. You got to go around it.
What would be a lie that Santa would tell?
I am Santa Claus.
Oh.
Don't tell me I'm not. You can't do that.
How long is Santa School?
Oh, that was just a one-day thing.
Okay.
That was just a one-day thing. You're on there for a few hours.
Okay.
When you're getting all ready and everything fitting, they make sure that your uniform's right and everything.
So do you get a certificate
No, 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 no. It was just more it was like a job requirement.
Gotcha. So no diploma that you can hang on the
No,
wall.
no, none of that. None of that. I wish you did. That would be kind of neat.
That would be awesome. I mean, legitimately, that would be probably the best diploma you can get.
Yeah, you're right. That would be a certificate of achievement, right?
So you were Santa for the first time in 17, and then was it something that you were like, this is something I
loved it. I loved it because I got to go to school, and then after school I would go to the Larvin Square in Simi Valley. You could get right over there, and they had a little a tool shed they had for Santa's castle outside the stationery store. Yeah, and they gave me a chair and everything, and they decorated the tool shed out there. And you just sat in there waiting for mothers and their kids and their fathers and their kids to come by and see Santa Claus and
all day.
Well, all day on the weekends, but but during the weekdays, just nighttime. Just like from 4 o'clock in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night.
And then, do you automatically know when you've kind of changed the kids' perception on Santa?
Yes.
Because some kids, they're like, oh, I don't believe in Santa. Santa's phony. And then they come and meet you. Was there ever one that's like, oh my God, you're real?
Well, there's mothers that do come in advance, okay? And they let you know the child's name and what you gave him last year for Christmas and stuff, and just different things,
Oh, because the kids will come test you. What'd you give
and
me
you'll
last
know,
year?
you'll know. You see them say, well, what about this? What about the truck I gave you last year? And they go, how'd you know that? Well, I gave it to you. Oh, there's little kids that just totally believe. I don't care what you look like or anything else. They just believe you, and you can just see it in their eyes, and they're just, oh my God, it's Santa Claus. You're the real guy.
Yeah.
And you snowed them.
So 17.
And that's a very.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Then there was this guy that lived, this family lived across the street, and the gentleman, he was a reporter for this big newspaper, Simi Valley, and he did an article. On me, Santa, and there was a big headline in the paper says Santa is 17, and there was a picture of me in my Santa Claus uniform.
Ageless.
Yeah, that was fun.
Did they provide you the uniform?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I had my own too. After that, after time went on and stuff, when I decided to do things like go to the bars and stuff, if they asked me to come and be sent to the restaurants, whatever, and do Santa Claus and things.
Did you ever take advantage of being Santa with the ladies?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure about that one.
I don't want to get your.
No, you don't know. Ladies, drunk ladies are not nice to Santa Claus. What they try to do to you. They try to, ring Santa Claus jingle bells.
I bet.
Believe me.
I bet.
Believe me, you don't want to. But when you go to those places like this restaurant Corrigan's, steakhouse, but it's mostly bar though. You got people in there. You got to understand. I do said the Santa Claus thing, and he'd have things for me to give to the customers and stuff. Whatever they were. I forget exactly what they were, but But for some people, that's their only Christmas they have.
Yeah, yeah.
And they I'd have these adults sit on my laps, and they'd be crying. They'd be crying in my lap, telling just ask. I don't know. It was very, very moving.
Yeah.
One time I did One time I was in my 40s. I did this one Santa Claus thing at my dad's lady friend. She worked at a senior home,
Mm-hmm.
and she had me do it for them. So all the seniors, they gathered around in the meeting room, and I was Santa Claus. They came to, they sat down, get a picture of Santa Claus, and tell Santa Claus what they want. But these real old people, they get real scared of Santa Claus. These real older ladies, they're real God, they sit in your lap and they're shaking. You're so scared of sitting on Santa's lap. It was so weird.
Do you no clue why, huh?
No.
That's strange.
No,
that
they were scared. So I had to handle them like a little 2-year-old. You know, but that's okay. This is the way it goes, you know. And some of them wouldn't sit in Santa Claus's lap because they were scared of Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's strange.
And these people in their 80s and stuff, they're a little scared of Santa Claus.
Well, I mean, you know, there's reason to be.
Well,
they know.
I can't.
At that point, they know who's underneath the mask. Sometimes.
Well, yeah, but they just. It was just totally weird why they would be scared of Santa Claus. Like, but that's just that's just the way it goes. You know.
What does Santa mean to you?
Santa Claus.
What does the spirit of Santa mean to you personally?
To me, it's a childhood image of joy and presence.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of times people lose the religious meaning. You know, they do with Christmas, you know, and stuff. Okay, they don't associate with the birth of Christ and everything. Okay, they associate it with Santa Claus being a happy thing that brings presents and things.
Yeah.
You know, that's what Santa Claus to me is all about. But it's for joy and stuff. You know, it's a joyous thing. It's a good thing.
Was Christmas a big thing in your family?
Yeah, but it wasn't a religious thing. It was a big thing. Well, I'm from a family of 6 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, did all 6 of you move out here to California, or?
No, one of them was born out here. One of them was born here in Lisa.
Wow, even picking up and moving a whole family of 5 across the United States is crazy.
Well, Beacon's Moving Company. I remember that. You know, we go on the plane, and here we are.
Where do you fall in? Are youngest, oldest, middle?
Number two.
So you had 4 after you. That's incredible. Are you guys?
Yeah.
Do you guys? Are you tight knit now, or?
We're in touch. We're all in touch with each other.
Okay.
To a point.
Yeah.
No, we're all fine. We're all fine with that. That's okay.
Do your nephews and nieces know that you have the magic touch of being Santa?
I did it one year at Corrigan's restaurant, and they kind of knew that I did that stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know, the oldest 2 nieces and 1 nephew went down there with my brother's mother-in-law, whatever it is, and they were at the restaurant and stuff, you know, and the guy that owned the restaurant, you know, Tom Corrigan, he goes up to the kid, my niece in there, says, they go, guys, aren't you excited? Santa Claus is here. And like my little niece and nieces and nephews, they say, oh no, it's just Kevin. they kind of crashed that. They knew it though. Like I went and got my picture taken with Santa Claus.
Sure. You know, we took my son's 2, and my wife is extremely into holidays, and so last night we went to go take the picture, and we went to Northridge. We've gone to Northridge 3 years in a row, and 2 of the 3 years we've left Northridge to go to another Santa. Not even to get too far into that, but we ended up going to a different mall, and it night and day, right? You can the quality of the suit, the quality of the beard, just the quality of the person. Like, you can really make or break somebody's Christmas spirit. Yeah, it's incredible. The quality of the Santa and the joy the individual brings can legitimately change that whole Christmas perception.
You're right, because some of them are like, okay, let's get it over with, sit them down on my lap and just get it over with.
Yeah.
That you can't do that.
I'm right there with you, because it really changes it.
The one that I went and sat on this year, the Oaks Mall, right, in Thousand Oaks there?
Uh-huh.
He's a good old boy. He's just a big guy. He's got a real beard and everything, and he's just a big, nice man.
Over at the Grove across from CBS Studios, they have year after year after year the most, like you would think he flew in straight from the North Pole. So I guess it's how much you're willing to spend, right, on employing Santa.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like when I was Mervin's very first Santa Claus was in '77 there.
Uh-huh. In
Simi Valley when Mervin's was there. Mervin's just left, it's gone now. But the way we started it off with, I was to take a ride on a fire engine. They met at this fire station, and we came into the parking lot, and it was announced that Santa Claus was going to be there and everything in advance, a couple weeks in advance, and so there was all kinds of kids outside the store waiting for Santa Claus, and once we got in the parking lot, they threw the lights on and the siren, and I got to stand up and whoa, ho, 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 wave to the kids, and the whole bunch of kids waiting for me.
Of course.
And I go in there and get on my chair and and that was a fun day. It was more than a day, but you do that 10 hours a day. You get a 2-hour lunch, but you do it for 10 hours a day.
What is your most favorite? Let's say, okay, I'm going to ask two favorites. What is your most favorite Santa Claus memory ever? As you being Santa Claus.
Oh, let me see. That's a tough one. There's been a lot of them, but I'll tell you. One time, this one child, when I was at the Mervys one, they gave me elves, two girls, take pictures and stuff,
Uh-huh.
And this lady came to me, and she had a little son. He was, I think he was 4. Yeah. And he was not able to come see Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because he had broken his leg. Okay, he was in bed and everything at home.
Mm-hmm.
So she asked us that she's gonna pay us $50. And back in '77, that was a lot of money to come to come over and to get his Christmas wishes and so she could take a picture with him for Santa Claus. And so what we did, we drove over there one lunch, in our suits and everything, and we got outside the house. And we threw rocks up on the roof. And his mother's inside telling him that she asked Santa Claus to stop by, and he said he might do it, okay? And we go into the house, into the bedroom, and that little kid got eyes as big as pumpkins. and I sat down, and I forget what he asked for, but he asked for whatever toys or whatever and stuff, and gave him his candy cane, and then we were just weird off. But he just totally believed in Santa Claus,
Yeah.
And she was going to pay us. We didn't take the money.
Okay.
We couldn't take the money because it was something you don't take money for.
Yeah, it's special.
So, yeah, it's a memory. It's a memory thing. It's something special,
I can't imagine how many people you've helped change life for, like not even knowing that you've done it, or obviously with no intention of, exactly like you said, it's very selfless. It's a very selfless.
Yeah, you can't do it all. You can't do it all for profit.
Yeah, of course, it's a very selfless action. And that's why this is a great conversation, because you went into the military with this selfless being of, you went in to do your piece, and then you get out. You weren't able to serve as long as you wanted to. You get out and you have this life of just giving, even though you don't have to, and it's very selfless and it's beautiful too.
I'm glad you think that. That's nice.
What's,
no, but that doing that kind of stuff is a lot of fun. Believe me.
I
don't do it right now anymore because
why not? Why not?
I don't know. Well, my outfit's gone, and whatever happened to that thing and stuff. I will eventually. No, I will eventually when my right association with people and stuff, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to happen eventually.
If I could make something happen today, what does it take to get you into Santa Claus's good graces?
My?
Yeah, you.
What do you mean?
What does it take to get you in a Santa suit this year?
Oh, the thing is, you couldn't do that because of my time off. I have to be available 24/7 for any time hours I can get for work and stuff. Because right now, I'm trying to build myself back up, working and stuff. So that's another big thing right now. You know about that with school and everything, and working and supporting your family and everything.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Absolutely.
No, but when I go to the malls and stuff, I say hello to Santa Claus and everything. One year I was down on the mall, and they had these choirs from the schools,
Mm-hmm.
from like Oaks Christian stuff, and they had these little volunteer choirs, and they were singing Christmas songs. So I went down and I went up and I bought a big old box of See's candy, and I made sure they all got a piece of See's candy.
Oh, that's great.
for singing, and people were standing around looking at them, watching them and stuff. I gave them all a big piece of See's candy.
I wish we'd met earlier. My wife and I had started. We haven't done it since Jake. Well, we haven't done it in 2 years, but we used to go Christmas caroling. We'd get a big group of people, and
we had that happen in our neighborhood when I was growing up. I never really did that because I don't know. I was too shy on those people.
Well, it's funny because we would go in Culver City, door to door. If they had lights, we'd go up. So we'd knock on the door, and people are really scared to open the door now these days. I swear to you.
You blame them? You blame them?
Yeah. You get a knock on their door. There's 14 people outside. Yeah.
Well, it's like my apartment. My apartment. So nobody opens the door.
Yeah. And
no, you're right, because we used to have these people down the street. They were Catholics, and they all went to Catholic school and everything, and there was, I don't know, they'd go around, there'd be about, 10, 15 of them around in a group, and they'd stop at each house, and they'd knock on the door, and they'd down the sidewalk, and they'd be singing a song.
Yeah.
It was a cool thing.
I got the idea when I believe I was maybe 10 or 12, but my aunt, her church used to go through, and we'd go in Monterey Park or Monrovia, something like that. We'd go door to door and do the same thing. And when I was in high school, I wanted to do it, and so I got a group of friends, and then I hadn't done it since high school.
You actually did it?
Yeah, we went. I printed out sheet music and everything, and in high school we went to our friends' houses, so we knew their parents and stuff like that. But 2000 and maybe 2010, maybe 2011. I printed out a bunch of sheet music, invited whoever wanted to go, and we met up at a bar in Culver City, and I had made spiked hot chocolate and eggnog, and so we had 2 coolers, and we walked through the neighborhoods in Culver City, and people would try to give us money. And we're like, no, this is just...
That's not what it's all about.
Yeah, this is about... Yeah, they thought we were going around soliciting, and...
That's a weird thing, because I would have, like the people at these restaurants, or these restaurants and bar things, it's bar and grills, I was calling that.
Yeah.
The people would come up and sit on my lap, and these really older folks, they'd say, well, let me have my husband give you something for your cause, make it out a check or something. And I say, that's not what this. No, that's not what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's not. It had nothing to do with that. You don't want to do that.
It sucks that we're
all for
there.
fun.
It sucks.
It's all for joy. That's why you were there.
That's right. That's exactly right. It sucks that's where we're at in society, where we're thinking that like everything's coming from.
Everything's got a price tag on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't.
I'll let you get back, but I do have 2 more questions. One of them is, what is the worst Santa experience that you have?
Oh God!
You were peed on?
Oh yeah, that happened.
Oh no!
Actually, no. The worst experiences you have is where the parents force their children to sit in your lap. They physically put them on your lap, and then the kids can't do nothing about it except cry.
Yeah, that's got to
They
be
don't
hard.
want. You don't want to do that.
Well,
Don't ever want to do
I
that.
imagine that creates a lifelong fear of Santa.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't. You should just. You don't have to have Santa Claus touch you.
Yeah.
You can get a picture of Santa Claus without having him touch you. Just lean over, have him stand there and lean over. Just lean over next to him or something, You don't want to touch him. Because kids just, the kids are people too.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to have to, they just don't want to, they don't want to go to you. They're scared to death of Santa Claus. That's the worst thing when the adults force you to do that, And then you'll have some kid come that absolutely knows the truth, and they'll be pulling your beard down and everything, and you got to kind of try to have words with them. You got to be careful what you say, but you got to explain to them, you're going to wreck it for everybody else once you just go along.
Yeah.
Here's your piece of candy, and you go bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are discouraging, but you just get over it and go on to the next one. Hope the next one's going to be a better one. How about that?
If you were able to today, would you do volunteer stuff for maybe veteran groups, or if you had the
Like
opportunity? Just kind of a pop in, or nothing crazy. I was just wondering, nothing on mind at the time. Maybe sometime in the future.
Yeah, so sure if I needed it, I don't know what I could do. That's the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can be Santa. I mean,
well, it's kind of late this year.
well, no. Yeah, of course.
In the future, sure.
I'm just thinking how, I know a Santa. So, I mean, who has a Santa in their black book? Me, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Well, so because this is a Christmas episode of You're the Vet, and You're the Vet, again, is a podcast that's kind of bringing people out of the military or somebody who is going through transition some guidance and some love from people who've done it before them. So I think the last question I'll have is, for those who are going through processes kind of like you did, where not necessarily you got out on your own terms, and then you had to go through this process of finding yourself, especially at such a young age, lost, gone down a road that now looking back, for 18 years now, looking back, you're like, I did things wrong, and had I had the opportunity to do them right, I would have changed things. As that person right now, as that individual that wakes up and looks at yourself in the mirror every morning, what do you have that you can give back to the veterans going through it today?
What can I? Just the fact that they have to open up. They have to open up to what they need to tell you things. They can't be shy about it. They have to. There's organizations out there that want to help, and they have to find them. They have to go through the Veterans Administration. Okay, they have to go there and they have to find these organizations. And if they need to, they should open up their hearts, and they should tell what they want to say. Mm-hmm. That's really what I think. They have to. They can't keep it all hidden up inside them. What they experienced over there.
Yeah.
And what they're what kind of trouble they're having. And I just hope that every vet would just open up and say, give me a call if you have to, and we'll talk about something. Or we'll meet somewhere, talk about something.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of a cool thing.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of these guys need to talk. My friend Mark Parker, who died, he got a leg blown off in Vietnam, but he needed to talk. So he always, when he went down to the VA hospital, every week he was down there. I don't know how many times a week, but for group sessions, just to talk about what he saw, what he had done, and how life was going.
Yeah.
Because how life was going, as he came out and everything. They need to form more of these groups, and allow these vets to come out and talk.
Yeah.
Because they deserve that opportunity.
Yeah. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to run into you and meet you, and I'm so blessed to have Santa on the air tonight. So, and I was going to ask you for that. I'm going to have to ask you for another one. It brings you cheer.
Oh, Merry Christmas! How's that one?
Man, Kevin, it's been a pleasure. I hope to run back into you more and more.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
I'll definitely
Life is funny that way.
Definitely keep in touch.
Okay. I appreciate the phone call.
Pleasure's mine. So, with that being said, Kevin, have a wonderful night. Those of you listening, have a beautiful holiday season. Enjoy the next year with the year becoming brand new and getting to kind of have a fresh start. Go ahead and, like Kevin said, Santa said, find somebody to talk to. Reach out to somebody. You don't have to do it by yourself. And that's why we're here giving this story to you. So this is You're the Vet. I want everybody to have a happy holiday season.